son of a bitch.
Yeah, I buy a lot of the actual Xbox games, but I really like the indie games like Super Hot or The Witness. Or when Abduction comes out for a console, I'm gonna shit my pants in delight.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen much on that.
Dude, it's Myst.
It's Myst?
Yeah, it's by the same people as Myst.
Oh. So it'll be a nice point-and-click adventure?
Well, I
or a little bit more interactive.
The last Humble Bundle I got had Evoland 2, Victor Vran, and this other game called Else Heartbreak.
Mm. Oh, yeah. And now I have Else
I donated that one to him because I already had it on a different bundle.
I love Humble Bundle, dude.
He said he digged it, so...
When they did the mobile board game Humble Bundle, I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever gotten.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I
got the Batman Arkham Knight on a bundle site for $12.
Yeah, that sounds like Humble Bundle.
It was on Bundle Stars.
Oh. I haven't heard of any other ones, to be honest.
Bundle Stars and GOG, G-O-G, are the other two that I go on. Those are the best ones to go on for real cheap games.
What does it stand for?
I don't know. I just actually found out about it a couple months ago.
Oh, okay.
Because they gave away Neverwinter Nights Diamond for free.
Gamers on... Gamers over... Gratuity.
Yeah.
Probably it.
Yeah.
Gamers... First one has to be gamers.
The O is for Overwatch.
Gamers Overwatch game.
Get Overwatch, gamers.
There you go. That's what it is.
Sorry I don't have it.
It's a great game.
I'd like to get it someday.
I played the free trial.
My commission checks don't come in for another month.
I think it's just... You bought Battlefield, though?
I know, because it was like 40% off, and I was like, I'm just going to buy this. And
Look, man. A lot of people don't like Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
Tons and tons of people. So if you're just like, well, it doesn't seem like the game for me, I'm not going to be offended.
No, it definitely looks like the game for me, but I just don't want it to become a League of Legends thing where we just default to it every time. Because there's tons of other games to play. Like, because when I got Battlefield 1, I was like, everyone has this, it's going to be great.
Well, we played it.
Yeah, we did, but when I got on that night, the 4 out of the 5 of us in that party were playing Overwatch when I got on. It was like, uh-oh.
Have you guys played Hammerwatch?
Hammerwatch?
No.
It's a pixel dungeon crawler. Like a looting, like a hack and slash loot game.
Mm-mm.
It's up to 4 players, and it's all little cute pixel stuff. It's a really fun game though. I think I put maybe 19 hours in it before I finished the main quest.
That sounds like a game that'd be right up my alley. I've still been trying to get all the secrets and shit on Binding of Isaac.
Oh, dude, what a fun game!
That game's fucking sick.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard though, man.
Yeah,
like it kicks.
I fell in love with that
time.
because the whole Zelda feel to it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely like the first Zelda and shit.
Especially like with all the references too.
Mm-hmm. Bastion was really fun too. I like that one.
Yeah, Bastion was a good game. Braid was really fun.
I like the overhead stick shooter, the twin sticks. Those are fun. I got Splatter Blood Red Edition for $1.
Geometry Wars, in my opinion, is the classic for those.
I do like Geometry
It's kinda
Wars.
overdone.
Owl Boy is a pretty fun game too if you like the aesthetic of like an ultra 8-bit or like it's like a 16-bit, but it's like ultra 16-bit high def.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
I really like pixel games. I mean, like,
Electronic Superjoy.
yeah, Electronic Superjoy. I spent hours on that game. Fucking loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Any game that promises to be extremely difficult and to piss me off to a massive degree and is pixelated, I pretty much have already picked it up. Have you played Hyper Light Drifter yet?
No, not yet.
You would like that game if you like Zelda, I feel. I don't know, it's maybe not. I don't know.
Those Evoland games are pretty good. It's like a journey through all of the different kinds of games that came out. It starts off as like Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
And then it goes into a platformer, and then it goes into a bullet hell, and it goes into a fighter. And you just experience all the evolution of video games throughout this one story.
I feel like I'd pick up a lot more games if I didn't think my PC was so shitty.
Mm-hmm.
I have to flatten my system and restart because I have some bad paths in a lot of my system.
Oh,
so
sure.
a lot of the games that I have that I can play won't. Like, I could play Skyrim, but Skyrim Special Edition won't run.
Yeah, you're gonna have to flatten it.
So I tried to download. Alright, I bought the game Abzu, and I tried to play it, and it said I needed Visual C++ 2015, and I already have it. But
Right.
it says, oh, it doesn't recognize it, so I tried to download it manually, and it says, oh, you have a better version already. I'm like, well, can someone talk?
Have you tried to delete your C++ and just download that again?
I did, but it keeps stalling in the uninstall. Stalling in the uninstall.
You
Yeah,
might
that's right.
need to get an app that will edit your permissions for uninstall.
So I tried to go for the standalone installer to try and get my rig updated, but every time I go to the Windows Updater, it just sits on 0% for days and days and days.
Have you tried getting super angry at it?
Yeah,
Was that
I even kicked it, and one of the vents in the front kind of caved in.
Is that the computer that's sitting in my kitchen right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of like the computers in my kitchen, I'm getting a fully new setup from my friend's dad.
Yeah.
He upgraded his whole system, and he games heavily on his, and he also does work from home. Do you know what Jake's dad does?
No.
But anyways, like a lot of the stuff he does, he needs a really good networking and really good, like everything. And I think he deals with like a lot of 3D rendering too, so it's got like all the best stuff on there. And I'm like, geez. And my friend Jake, he's just like, hey, my dad is upgrading his PC. Do you want his old one? And old is in like, air quotes
His
because
old?
it's only like a year old.
Yeah, I tried to get him my, because I upgraded my memory, and I also upgraded my video card, so I tried to get him my old 660, but his motherboard won't take it.
Yeah, my motherboard's too old. Because, like, motherboards are, like, the cheapest thing that you can put in a computer, because typically, even a good high-end one's no more than $150 to $200. But, like, my motherboard's like, we just can't. And so I was like, I'll just have to save up for this, and then, lo and behold.
My knowledge of hardware is extremely limited, just because I went to the consoles where you don't have to worry about any of that shit.
Yeah.
And it kind of fucks you because you can't do, like, cool mod shit, but whatever.
You can do, like, mod packages nowadays, like with what Bethesda's doing with the Xbox One, where it's like, oh, you can mod the new Skyrim, and you can mod Fallout 4, you know, as long as you just download it. It's like, but you can't really like build your own kind of packs and stuff.
Well, and like, Xbox is heading towards the direction because it knows that PC gaming is winning, like, heavily over every console.
Yeah.
That's why they're trying to collapse Steam and replace it with the Microsoft Store. That's why they did the whole fucking, play anywhere titles. Like, they're trying to get rid of Steam.
Yeah, you can play it on a Windows computer. You can play it on the Xbox.
They're gonna end up partnering with Steam, I'm sure, unless
Probably.
PlayStation does it first.
Well, whatever. We know, like, or actually don't know about Project Scorpio with Microsoft, which sounds like it's just going to be a PC streaming service where...
No, Scorpio is going to be, from what I've heard, Scorpio is going to be a console with really high processing power that is, at the same time, upgradable. They have promised that Scorpio is going to be their last console.
Yeah, where you just keep adding parts to it or changing them out. It's going to be essentially a box with interchangeable parts.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't mind, because I started off both PC and Xbox the same year, 2002. Because I started, my first PC game one summer was StarCraft, and then the same year I started playing Halo 1.
The problem with Xbox is the same problem as Apple. They have to make all their shit proprietary. Exactly. Like, they have to be like, you have to fit these standards in order to be software on our box, so we're not ever going to put you on if you don't have money to fit these standards, or...
Yeah.
That's why I fucking hate Apple.
Yeah. Well...
Yeah, you don't get anything that anybody else gets unless we approve it.
Exactly.
Well, even their frickin' charger. Did you know that, like, certain devices that have to meet a certain standard in the U.S. Have to be legally standardized? Like, in the next couple of years, USB-C is going to take over micro USB, because
Right.
micro USB took over mini USB. And since Apple has its own proprietary, the Lightning cable, they actually pay a fine on it. But they make up that money paying the fine by selling proprietary devices like the charger adapters. And I know how you feel about like MMO ESO, but they just announced their next installment.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Morrowind.
It's in the past too. I think.
I know.
I don't know if this is true or not, but I think it's going to take place when the dwarves disappeared, and maybe we'll know what happened.
Happened. All we know is Morrowind is where it happened, and it's in that era because it's like. Because the city of Vivek is still being built, and from what I understand in that one, because I saw the image, the moon is hovering over the city being built.
Right, and you have to finish the game within 3 days.
Yep.
And if you don't, you just go back in time until the moon's full again, and then you try again.
Yep.
Like Majora's Mask. Everything goes
Did
back
you
to
play
Zelda.
Morrowind?
Very little.
Okay,
I had a hard
'cause-
time with it because, I don't know.
In the city of Vivek, there's actually an asteroid just in suspension above the city that it was just hurtling towards the city and it was going to destroy it, and Vivek just kind of stops it there.
The one I started with was Oblivion.
It's pretty much where a lot of people start off.
I geeked
Yeah.
out. Like, one of my friends at work, he sends me this link. He's like, the teaser for it, and it just shows a bunch of lava, and he's like, you ready for it? I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm excited, and I look at the lava, and I'm like, it's going to be Morrowind.
I found myself being a hypocrite because when Skyrim was released, I was like, "Oh, Oblivion was so much better." What Morrowind? That sucked. It's just one of those moments where I'm like, "Oh, those people have said that exact same thing to me, but now I'm making the exact same argument."
Yeah. No, I go back and I look at Morrowind, and it's like, I love it because of what you could do with it. Like, the mechanics, the physics, the building of spells, because you could literally build a spell from ground up. It's like, oh, I'm going to give myself 6,000% jump.
That's why Divinity is probably one of my favorite games of all time, just because of the amount that you can do.
See, and I was getting upset too because now that Morrowind's coming out, they're gonna bring the spell casting back, but they really kind of nerfed the spell building in ESO.
Oh, yeah.
They just put it on the back burner.
Well,
Well,
they
they have
nerfed it
to.
when they brought
So,
Oblivion. That's why I
yeah.
didn't play it, because they were like, oh, you can't do all this ridiculous crap anymore. And I was like, I'm kind of resistant to it.
Right.
That and the character models looked kind of weird, like stretched leather.
Stretched leather.
And I'm like, oh, the Dark Elves are supposed to be these ashy gray skin where it looks like they're covered in ash. But no, it's just stretched, shiny brown, gray.
Somebody learned how to gradient.
No, the Dark Elves were blue in that.
Right.
I was like, Dark Elves are supposed to be gray,
We're just gonna
black.
change the color palette.
And we're just, it's gonna be. I did appreciate how shiny the Cyrodiil area was. It was really pretty, and I really appreciated it. But I was like, and then I get to Skyrim, and I'm like, everything's brown, but it's a good game. It's just so good. And then
And now in Skyrim Legendary Edition, everything's bloom.
yeah.
It's like 150% bloom adjustment.
Well, see, that was my thing. I was so I judged Oblivion and Skyrim based not graphically because they just kept getting better, but I based the gameplay on Morrowind. It was broken where it had the dice rolling thing whenever you'd swing a sword at something.
That's what I didn't like.
But when I didn't care about the graphics, I just liked the story. I liked the spell building because you could break the game and win in like 30 minutes if you knew how to build spells.
Yeah.
Or if you were a wood elf, you gave yourself full focus on marksman and full focus on agility. You could not be hit and you could snipe anything. And so you're like, I crouch. You can't hit me. And they're just sitting there swinging their swords above your head and they're not hitting you.
I really liked Shovel Knight. That was a good game.
That was good.
You play Shovel Knight?
I haven't played Shovel Knight yet, no. I got SteamWorld Dig.
Oh, yeah, I almost
That
picked
one's
that
real
up.
fun.
I
haven't even jumped on the Undertale bandwagon yet.
Undertale was nice.
I'm waiting on that. I think that's probably going to be my next bundle purchase if it comes out.
It's a really good one for being look like it was made in Microsoft Paint.
Right.
I almost bought SteamWorld Dig just because it looked enough like Terraria to make me think I'd enjoy it.
Yeah.
I really want Starbound, but I don't want to download it on computer.
I just can't find enough people to play Terraria with.
Get it on the DS.
Yeah, I have it on DS.
Well, I don't have a DS.
Oh, that's right. Your son
I gave it to Evan.
Well,
He
good
played it more than I
idea.
did, and he kind of fucked up the hinge. So I'm like, happy
Yeah,
birthday.
that's yours now.
And it was the Link Between Worlds edition.
Gold.
And I was gonna get myself the new 3DS, the Majora's Mask one, but by the time I had enough money to buy it, they got rid of it at the GameStop, and it was like $100 extra if you
Yeah.
wanted to buy it online because it was a collector's edition.
Dude,
Are
I
you
was.
gonna buy the Switch when it comes out?
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna replace my 3DS.
Dude, I really like it. I was okay. So I wanted the reason why I haven't upgraded to a new 3DS XL is because I like my Pikachu edition regular DS XL. I went online and I was just looking at potential, like maybe there's talk about a new edition. I went on the Japanese Nintendo website. They got so many good editions that we just don't have.
Yeah.
That's the problem with ordering for a company that's based in Japan.
I know.
Like, oh, you don't get any of the things.
Well, I was very much considering doing it because games aren't region locked on the DS.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you load up, say, Pokemon in a cartridge, it'll play it all in Japanese because your game was purchased, or not Japanese, English, because you bought the cartridge or you downloaded it.
Yeah.
It's just all the system settings are in Japanese, so you can get around it.
The Switch, I'm not sure if I'm going to buy yet. I might just buy it for Splatoon 2, because that game's really fun.
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
They're gonna Sunday. They're gonna release a video on the special edition they're gonna be making. I think they're gonna be releasing a Switch with the Breath of the Wild installed in it, with like a mod.
What is Breath of the Wild?
Legend of Zelda.
Oh, okay. The last Legend...
It's called Zeldarim in my mind.
Because it's
so all open world, and it's 12 times bigger than the Twilight Princess map.
And that was a huge map.
That was the last
one
one
of
I
the
played.
biggest maps.
Was
Yeah.
Twilight Princess.
It took me years. I finally just finished Twilight Princess because I've had it on my Wii for years and years and years, and I finally was like, okay, I'll go finish it. And I was literally right before Ganon when I quit.
I played it every day until I beat it.
Mm-hmm.
But Skyward Sword,
I have to play it. I haven't.
fuck that game.
Really?
I heard it was really good.
Fuck that game, dude.
Why?
I really liked
It gets so frustrating with those motion controls.
Oh, I guess so. But I've played it a little bit. I hate the flying. I like the sword play because I like the intuitive style controls. I like mixing it up.
I don't know if I can ever play an RPG again. I just get so... Like, games like fucking Electronic Superjoy or platformers, I'm like, hey, there's constant action. Or even Hyper Light Drifter, there's constant action. I can play this.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't think I have the attention span anymore for RPGs because I'm like, I have to play 3 hours in order to get into it and find it really fun. And then I just don't have
That's the thing.
the gumption
Right,
anymore.
level up to get the fun stuff, and we're like, come on.
I just...
But
I was trying to play Dishonored 2 and I just couldn't. I was like...
I want to try that. Really bad.
I do
I
like
have it.
the initial experience on when I'm looking back when I was
My
younger.
brother does. We link expected.
When you're like starting an RPG and like you're at the base level, you have basically a wooden sword or a wooden hammer or whatever. You have a shield and you have basic armor. When you get your first like steel sword, you're like, I'm invincible. I have a steel sword, and then you look back on it like years from now, and you're like, man, that's a shitty sword.
Right, what a piece of shit.
I don't know. I played through the entirety of The Witness, and that was a pretty...
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what it is. Or I have a hard time with RPGs because I know, like, I bought The Witcher for like $13. So I know it's like one of the best RPGs released in the past however many years.
Mm-hmm.
Just can't get into it.
Yeah, I bought the second one because I played the first one on my buddy's rig. So I bought the second one because graphical update and 2 times the amount of time to play it, and I got 23 minutes in and I just quit.
Yep, that's how I was with Witcher 3. I was just like, I don't know
just
how
like,
to do
come
that.
on.
I played Gwyn for the first time, and I was like, oh, by the way, if you want to be in the open beta for Gwyn, the closed beta, just watch this week on Xbox, and I'll give it to you.
Are you guys going to do For Honor?
I will try For Honor and see how much I like it, engage it from there.
Yeah. I like games who don't. They're like, okay, the best example is Saints Row 2. Breaking out of prison. It's not an RPG, but it can speak to. You get to a point, it's like, we can either take the long way through the prison, and we could learn about this and this and this, or if you think you know what you're doing, we can just get right into it, where it's basically like, you can do the tutorial, or you can play the game. And it's always like, well, I'll play the freaking game. Why not?
And like, I don't know. There's some games that just instantly I love. Like Super Hot.
Mm-hmm.
That game is so good.
Mm-hmm. Super Hot.
It's just one of those games where you can pick it up and play it, and yet it is incredibly deep. Like Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight was one of the hardest games I've ever played.
Mm-hmm. Dude, did you get it on the DS or did you get it on the...
I got it on Xbox, unfortunately.
No, the Xbox is good because you get the Plague Knight DLC.
Yeah, and I'm going to get the next one when it comes out.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if it's for the DS or not. I wouldn't imagine why not.
I think they're doing the Death Knight, the guy with the scythe who was really annoying to fight, and then somebody else. King Knight is after that.
I'm really looking forward to more Shovel Knight because I put it down after I got most of the way through it, and I'm like, I would have a much better experience with this if I knew I'd have something after this.
Yeah.
Instead of just finishing it and being like, okay, it's just gonna sit on my storage card for a while. But
I mean, my thing is like I really am committed to one game at a time, and right now that's still Overwatch. And so every other game is just like I'm not playing Overwatch right now.
Well, that's me too. Like one of my friends was really pissed at me because I got a ESO and I convinced him to get it, and we played it a lot, and then all of a sudden I get Battlefield 1 and I'm like, I'm playing Battlefield 1 now. And then I get texts from him like every other night. He's like, you want to play at ESO tonight?
I mean, I like being Mr. Zigzag, but I'm not a huge fan of Battlefield 1, to be honest. Mm-hmm. I've never been a fan of military shooters, you know that.
Yeah, well, I only will play Battlefield 1. I will not get online by myself. It's a party game for me.
Yeah, I like playing with, well, I mean, I enjoy talking to people while I'm playing. I don't actually enjoy the game because it's just not my kind of game.
Well, when we were playing that other night, the 5 of us, it was really good because we'd look at the scoreboard and we were all at least in the top 75%.
Yeah, that's because we all had like a weird role that somehow we fit into this machine. Like all I did, as you know, was go to objectives, heal people.
Yep. Well, that's how it worked because like when we talked about my Halo group, where it's like you have a role, you play your role, and we can win. And that's how we did it. You healed people. I was support, so I would not capture objectives. I stayed behind and picked people off with a sniper, and then like you got people who were like
Scout,
Jake.
You mean?
Yeah, Scout. You got like Jake and Matt who are like either in a vehicle or they're, heavy gunning everything. And then you had Jose who's just basically absorbing bullets.
My group on Overwatch, when we play, so there's 3v3 elimination, which is like Overwatch Counter-Strike essentially. Mm-hmm. But me, Jose, and Hugh play it, and we've gotten pretty fucking consistent, pretty fucking strong with our comp at the moment.
Yeah.
Just because we know exactly where everybody is, we do call-outs, we're fucking serious about that shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
All right.
Anybody ready to go outside for another cigarette?
Sure.
Yeah, that's a great idea, and then we should podcast because
this has been a game chat. Thanks for listening. Please stay tuned for the world we live in.
You did not start recording, did you?
Hell yeah, we did.
Oh, all of this is recorded?